Watch this. One small adjustment to how you read half spin serves will stop you from popping the ball up and losing the point before it even starts. Hi everyone, I'm Xiao Han. Today we're tackling the single biggest frustration in amateur match play, serve reception. I asked a couple of students what hurts them most in competition, and the answer was immediate receive. When your receive falls apart, your entire game plan collapses. Every tactic you rehearsed, every pattern you wanted to run, none of it matters because you never get past the first ball. The problem is painfully familiar. You either miss the return completely or pop it up high, giving your opponent a free kill. And once that cycle starts, confidence drains fast. Your whole match can spiral from one bad receive. So that's exactly what we're fixing today, how to handle those tricky serves so you stay in the rally and keep your tactics alive. And if your own serves keep coming back half long or long, and your opponent attacks everyone, you basically feel like giving up on the match. Next, let's talk about serve reception, since that's the number one issue for both students here. Everything else, rallying, footwork, comes after you solve the receive. Here's something interesting, even at the professional level, players get caught by serves. The difference is how fast they adjust. A pro might get aced once, maybe twice, and by the third ball they've already corrected. They adapt almost instantly. For us amateurs, though, the same serve keeps beating us over and over. So what do you do when you keep getting caught? It comes down to reading the spin. I talked earlier today about judgment, recognizing what's on the ball before you commit your stroke. Let's start with the side spin backspin serve. When you feel heavy spin, what do? You open the racket face a little flatter, but beyond flattening, you also slow down, right? There's no other choice. Now here's the real problem. On the backhand receive, so many of you just push the ball back and then you can't attack, you can't rip it, you're stuck. When receiving, do not contact the ball directly from behind. Hitting straight behind the ball against this kind of spin is extremely difficult. Watch contacting from directly behind makes the ball drop into the net so easily. That's why so many of our receives end in errors. One major reason for all these missed receives is that you're jabbing at the ball too aggressively. Watch my partner sends a serve, and with this rushed, punchy timing, errors happen constantly. My arm is moving forward, but the ball keeps hitting the net. Now, if instead I let the ball come slightly toward my body, shift the contact point a little to my left side, the result improves dramatically. Watch the difference. Watch this ball. If you receive it normally and it goes over, fine. But if it keeps dumping into the net, then just flattening the racket and guiding it back is useless. Your opponent still attacks you. So here's what we do instead. During the backswing, angle the racket to the left side. Turn the body slightly, give yourself room. Wait a beat, then brush up and around the ball to get friction on it. See the difference. Now rotate the body just a little, make space, and use the forearm to extend the arc, dragging the ball's trajectory longer. The reason so many of these balls end in errors is that we rush straight at the spin instead of working around it. When you see heavy spin, your instinct is to flinch, same problem as with looping. Watch what happens. The ball comes in and the error looks like this. The method you're using, that short stabbing push, is for short balls over the table. But for a long ball, the technique is different. Your forearm has to extend forward and carry the arc through. Watch. As the ball arrives, the forearm pushes through, sending the ball on a longer, fuller arc. Watch when I receive this way, the ball clears the net, stays low, and floats with a tricky trajectory. Now the backhand deep receive is the real difficulty. Most serves target that spot, 70% or more land right there. So this is the priority. When you set up your backswing, bring the racket slightly to the left side of your body. Then let the forearm push forward and carry the ball through, don't jab or dab at it. Extend and send. Let's try it. There, extend the forearm more. Keep sending it forward. First, just find the right contact point. Good, find that contact. Yes, forearm extends through. That one was good, you sent it out properly. Now you might feel scared to extend on a long ball, that's normal. But you have to commit, push through. Otherwise you get that feeling of never connecting solidly with the spin, the ball feels impossibly heavy and you can't match the rotation. Personally, I don't push with my backhand in matches. But for most of you, the backhand long push is a tool you need. And if you're going to push a long ball, you absolutely must extend your forearm through the stroke. That's the only way to carry enough arc. Commit to sending the forearm out, never jab or flick at it. Don't use your fingers and wrist to jab at the ball. That short flicking motion is for short balls over the table, never use it on a long push. Try again. Extend, extend there, see, that ball had heavy spin on it and the push came back much more controlled. Huge improvement. Now watch what happens when you jab. Scary, right? The ball flies off unpredictably. That's exactly the error pattern we're breaking. Do a short push over the table, the jab works fine there. But now push a long ball with that same jab. See, the forearm stops here, the stroke has no arc length, and the ball has nowhere to go. So once we make contact on a long ball, the forearm must keep traveling forward. Try it, send the forearm out. There you go, see the difference. But remember, the stroke path has to go sideways, not straight back to front. You're brushing to the side and forward. Good, much better, right? It really does improve a lot once you commit to extending. Let me explain the reasoning for everyone. A lot of players still handle deep backspin to the backhand with a short, jabbing push, even on long balls. If you push long and actually send the forearm through, you prevent so many balls from dumping into the net. Extend the forearm out, and the net errors drop dramatically. Now, the second topic I want to cover is a receive problem, specifically, handling wide serves to your backhand side. Now let's talk about handling balls near the sideline. I think your approach here is too conservative. I keep seeing you make the same mistake. These balls are actually very attackable. Show me your normal receive first. See, you just push it back, and every time they loop you for it, you get punished over and over. So what's the solution? You're afraid to loop because you can't match the timing right. But pushing this ball back is guaranteed punishment. At best, you slow them down a little, but you never gain the advantage. The ball isn't really dropping short into the table, so don't try to dig under it. Instead, step in and commit to the loop. Try it now, half-long mixed spin. Most of these serves are half-spin, not heavy side-spin topspin, which would actually be easier to handle. Try pushing the first one. Now step back and loop the second. Now try a banana flick on the third. See, you have options. The key is recognizing that this ball has a slightly curving, awkward trajectory. It messes with your timing and makes you hesitate. That hesitation is exactly what the server wants. So you need to commit early, push it, rip it, or flick it, pick one and go. Don't freeze between choices. Practice reading that half-spin depth, then trust your forearm to finish the stroke.